Today I'm going to go ahead and share my story as far as how I've dealt with working a full-time job and going to school at the same time. And let me start by telling you it is not easy. So if you're currently going through that, or if you're about to, it's not impossible, but it's not easy. You are going to grow up a lot. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, your strength and your weaknesses, and it's just part of life. I think when you are, not the perfect, but the idea that it's been going on for such a long time is once you're high school, you go to college, you move out, and you live your life, you party, and then you graduate and you get a job. So if you can do that, great. I'm so happy for you. If you can't, I am on the same boat as you. So life is not perfect. Stop comparing yourself to anybody else. Stop thinking, well, if she's doing this, why am I not? It's okay. Your time will come. And trust the process. It will happen. So I had to learn that my own way. So when I graduated high school, I kind of had the little mindset of I'm gonna go ahead and go to college, probably go somewhere out of my town, maybe somewhere out of state, and then do what everybody else does. Actually ended up going to a university here where I live, which was still really good. But after a year, I sadly had to drop out of the university. So I decided, well, if one door closed, another door has to open, and if it doesn't open, I'm gonna open it. So I went ahead and enrolled myself in a community college, and I started doing courses, but in order to go to school, you need money. You need money to pay to school. You need money to pay for school. So you need a job, but you also you have a job for school. So you have two things going on at the same time, and at a young age, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. And maybe, what other people tell you. What other people tell you. Oh, I did it. It's fine. It's okay. Well, I'm glad. It was fine for you. I'm glad it was okay for you. Everybody's process is different. So I went ahead and enrolled in a community college, and then I looked around for options as far as, what kind of job. I didn't have a job at that point. So I said, well, let's look around. You're not going to sit here and wait for it to come to you. Let's look around. Let's figure out what options you have. So I found a job that maybe it's not your typical first job, and I'm kind of glad I found it, and I'm blessed I did, because of my school that I had done that 1 year that I did at the university. It was everything related with pre-med. I was able to pretty much do what you call like an externship or internship into a pharmacy. I was considered a trainee, so I was very limited on what I could do because I didn't have, the knowledge everybody does. So I was very limited, to do what anybody really could do, like staple the bag and put the bag in a basket, type of things. But it was a job. It was a job, and I was starting to get an income, so things were starting to look better. I went ahead and took a test to become an actual pharmacy technician. I studied a lot. I pretty much did like a crash course, and I enrolled to take the test. I took the test at this private office, and I passed it. And I became an official pharmacy technician. So at that point, I had the knowledge, I had everything that I needed to know in order to be able to do what a regular pharmacy technician does. I'm always going to be grateful for that job, and I think every time you go into a job, one of your purposes should be to become part of that essential team. you know, to become very reliable, to become somebody that your boss, supervisors, whoever's above you can go and, you know, trust that if you do it, the job's going to be well done. And with a lot of effort and with months and months and months of studying and training and everything, I was able to become that person. And I'm saying it with the most humble heart that I did that. But then I felt I hit a wall. I felt like, and at this point, school, I was taking a course here and there, but I felt like I was kind of deviating from my original plan. So I started to add more courses to my school, and it was becoming very hard. You know, for school, there's tests, there's studying, there's homework, there's projects, there's reading. There's so much more than just physically going to a class, you know? And I'm pretty sure whoever is actually doing school knows this. In order to be successful, there's so much to it than just attending a 1 hour, 2 hour course. And having to handle that with work, and at that point, I was a 40-hour full-time employee. I was feeling stuck. So I decided to do something for myself. And at the moment, the idea seemed insane. It seemed crazy. You know, I slept on it for so many nights thinking it's maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe I should wait another year. But why are you going to wait another year? Why are you going to wait? You're going to wait another year to be in the exact same position you are right now. Why are we doing that? Just do it. Just do it. The time is going to pass. Your responsibilities that you have at work right now are probably not going to change, because I feel like at that point I didn't have anywhere to move up. So I was probably going to be in the exact same position in a year. So why wait a year? Why not do it now? Instead, in a year, I'm going to be somewhere. I could be in a better place. So I said, screw it. And I went ahead and enrolled in a medical institute. I knew I wanted to be, obviously, because I was taking pre-med, I wanted to be within the medical field, but I wanted to be more part of the patient care in a different way than as in the pharmacy. So when I decided to finally make the decision, trust me, I felt like I was going to puke when I went to the medical institute to kind of ask around and see what I needed to do to enroll. After I found all the information, I went ahead and enrolled. It is one of the hardest things I have personally done, and I can tell you this with the heart of my hand. There was times where it felt like, why am I doing this? There was times where it felt like I was crazy for even doing it. But I also had to validate my emotions, and that's important. You have to validate your emotions. What are you feeling? What are you needing as a person, as a human? Do you want to grow? Are you okay where you are? Maybe you want to stay there for a little longer and learn more. But where I was at that point was not a good place. I felt like I was not learning anything. I was going and doing the exact same thing every day. I'm not that kind of person. I have to be in a place where I'm constantly seeing new things, learning something new, growing as a person, and growing as a professional. So I did the medical institute. It was a year and a half of school, and at the end, you had months of clinicals and externships. With a 40-hour, actually 40 or plus hours full-time job. So I was going to school, I was going to the medical institute from 8 a.m. to 12. And then at 1, my shift started at the pharmacy, and I would be there all the way to 11. My shift was from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Once I would get home, I would be so exhausted, and I would be so tired, and I felt hopeless at some point. I felt like I'm not doing the right thing. I was doing more than I could possibly manage. So if you feel like that, if you feel like, God, why did I put myself in this position? Why am I doing this? Why what was I thinking? And it seems easy to just quit. Don't do it. You're almost there. I promise. You are almost there. Just keep pushing. You already started. Why go back? Just go forward. It's okay. You did the hardest thing ever, which is to take the decision to do it. There's going to be really good days and there's going to be really bad days. And that is okay. It's your process. In order for other people to respect it, start respecting it yourself. Okay? Stop selling yourself short. You can do this. You are capable of doing this, and you're capable of doing way more. And I would talk to myself and I would tell myself this, and that's what got me through. There was times where I would pay my tuition, I would pay my car, like my gas, and then I was left with close to nothing. And I felt so bad because here I am working every day and I can't even afford to go get lunch because then I'll be at zero balance. And I'm a true believer. I 100% believe that God exists. Everyone's different. If you don't believe, that's okay. That's fine. Everybody's different. But I am a true believer, and let me tell you about one day that that day they had taken out of my account for my tuition, and then I had to go fill up gas, and I had to go buy something for school. I was left with 84 cents in my account. 84 cents. And I wasn't going to make it home until almost midnight. So I couldn't afford a bag of chips. That's how broke I was. I couldn't afford a bag of chips. And I remember standing in the chip aisle and just looking at the chips and saying, how on earth can I not afford to buy a bag of chips? And it was very frustrating. I was so mad. And where I work, they have the little machine where you scan your card and it tells you if you have coupons. I never used it. But that day I said, let's just see. And I scanned my card and I had $2 off of the whole total purchase. And that's when I tell you I was blown away. And I said, okay. So I grabbed my bag of chips, I grabbed my bottle of Coke, and that was my lunch. It was not an amazing, it was such a good lunch to me because I was not starving. And I remember sitting there eating those chips and eating and drinking my Coke and thinking there's no way other than better from here. And, you know, knowing that I took care of what I needed to take care of felt good, but at the same time not having enough to even afford lunch felt like, you know what. So all your sacrifices are going to pay off. And I tell you with a very humble heart that I am so humble, that I am so happy that they did. My sacrifices paid off. I finished the medical institute. Then I graduated with a certificate. I was able to work to get a job in a clinic. I have learned so much. I am nowhere near the person that I was 6, 7, 8 years ago. My knowledge has just expanded incredibly. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everything that I went through. Usually the things that are worth it are gonna take their time. It's gonna require you to make decisions. It's gonna require you to learn. It's gonna require you to grow. I learned so much about myself during the whole process. I learned my weaknesses. I learned my strength. I was stronger than I thought, emotionally and physically. Before I even started with that, I thought, how am I gonna be able to just sleep a few hours, then go back to school, then go back to work the next day, work a whole shift? I'm still amazed of how much I did. And at such a young age, it seems like a lot of people tend to tell you, oh, you don't have kids, you don't have to worry about, you know, being married or, you know, having those kinds of responsibilities. But you're a kid, you're young, and to try to grow in that way and to try to learn that process, it's not easy. even if it seems like whatever things are not, that could make it harder, are not there, it still doesn't mean it's easy. So don't feel bad if you are tired. Don't feel bad if you are feeling like you just want to give up, if you're feeling hopeless. All of that is part of the process. Take a deep breath. Know that one day this is all going to be worth it, and just keep going. Because you already started, please don't go back. Just keep moving forward. That's all you need to do. With a very humble heart, I am now a nursing team lead, and I have trained so many people. I met so many wonderful, incredible people that I now have part of my life, and I honestly, every time I think of it now, of everything that I went through, it brings a smile to my face. Please know that you're not alone. Trust yourself. Trust your strength. You'll get there. Trust me, you will get there. And it would all be worth it. One day you're going to look back at what you're going through right now and think of how strong you are. Okay? All right. Well, that is it. Any other questions you guys want to have, or any questions, any comments, just put it down in the comment and I will go over it with you guys. Maybe we can make a part 2 of this with a little more detail, maybe somebody else's experience, and I can share it with you guys. That'll be great. Let's all help each other. Remember, always help the person that's right behind you, because you were there at one point. So remember that. So if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to subscribe, I don't charge. Nobody does. So just click that subscribe button. And if you do, click that little bell right there, somewhere right here. And it will notify you every time I submit a video. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope this video helped. If it helped one person in this world, I'm okay with it. My job was done. So thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Everybody, please stay safe. Protect yourself, protect others, and protect your loved ones. Bye, guys.